Hello and welcome to another episode of Origianl's Lairs. Very exciting slot through the original Star Wars figures. Now we've done the 12 and we've done their follow-on gang, including Boba Fett, and we've had, you can't see them on the camera, but down here the Hoth crew. So following on with the Empire theme, we're now going to look at the Bounty Hunters. Probably the least amount of screen time out of any of the figures other than Maydeen, but we're going to have a look at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them and have a bit of a chat about which one we think is the best and what things to look out for when we're purchasing them for the first time. So let's get into it. So we have the usual suspects, and if you're going to be in a fight, you'd want these bad boys behind you. So we'll take them out and we'll leave the worst one in, and we'll talk through him first. So Dengar, the man with the towel on his head, comes with the same gun as the Stormtrooper, so it's not uncommon, really easy to find, and you'll notice, like with all, first thing you want to pay attention to is what is actually the main plastic, because then the paint comes off that. So the main plastic on Dengar is white. Generally it's hard to get a bad one. He's only got one general colour. On the back it's a slightly darker grey, and then you've got a bit of the face paint. So you don't, whether it's because nobody plays with him, because he's such a drip, but you don't really get a lot of paint rub. But I've got a couple more just to show you, which will give you some idea, a couple of different things you need to consider. So first Dengar, again, it's got a bit of a translucent look, that gun is, compared to the others. Some geek will be able to tell those. So this one, if you look at it, so the main plastic on the back section here, which obviously clips in, has faded compared to the other plastics. So that's something that's worth watching out for, and it's faded all over. So that is something to be considering when you're looking. It's not affected the painting anyway, but it's just not quite as you want it to be, spot on. And then in this case, let's just lose his gun. For some reason, whether it's faded or it's just a different colour that's been put in with the others, you know, remains to be seen. But as you can see, you've got a dark purple there, and then his main breastplate is a lighter sort of shade, and then you're back to the dark and the dark and the dark. So it's just worth bearing in mind and looking out for, because you want them to be spot on. But now we've got Towelhead out of the way. I'm sure he's only got all those bandages because he's always getting injured. Let's have a look at a couple of the others. So we're going to go with Zuckess, and it is Zuckess. It's not Forlum, it's Zuckess. When he was put on the shelves, it said Zuckess on the packet, and Zuckess it will always be. Okay, and again, there's a lot of main plastic here, so that you're going to get minimal paint rub. Okay, you've got your silver belt line, which needs to be nice, but because it's sort of inset, it doesn't get a lot of rub. And then you've got your eyes, nose, and a couple of mouth features. So as long as it's stiff limbed, generally it's okay. And the only bad ones I've seen is where there's a bit of rub on the eyes. But again, he's got his own new unique gun. It's not difficult to find, so you should be able to get a fairly cheap Zuckess in reasonable condition. Now Forlum, never had him as a kid, and obviously you can use the gun that way or you can put it in that way, and it's his own unique gun. But I like that. It's just he's carrying it to work like he would do a lunchbox or something. Now for him again, the main plastic is the light brown colour, and he just looks so cool with the breastplate and the rucksack. The main thing to look out for is the actual cape. Now it doesn't rip and tear like Obi-Wan, Darth Vader and Leia, because it's obviously of a thicker material that you can see there. But you do have to check it over, because in the creases and stuff, this one's pretty good. It can get worn and torn, but if I put him to one side and bring in my spare, you can see there that obviously it has picked up a little bit of damage. Doesn't affect it from a display point of view, but if you're going to be, you know, if you're going to be really anal, then you want to be looking out for those things. And again, back to me things, the only area of paint rub you've got to worry about is around the eyes, but again, they're indented, so you don't need to worry. But the nose, because that flicks out, if he ends up laying down, then you might get a bit of nose up there, but it's not too difficult to get a good fall on. RG88, again, this gun is unique, and obviously this blaster is common. A professional nerd will be able to tell you which particular blaster he needs in line with which particular sort of mould and from which country it's been moulded in. But if you just enjoy your Star Wars and you're not still living with your mum, then you can just put a blaster with it and it still looks pretty cool. The main thing to consider is obviously your legs you haven't got to worry about, your chest and your arms, because they're all the same colour as the moulded plastic. The belt is the key thing here, and this does get rub on it. Okay, that black belt does get rub on it really easily, so you need to check that. And then you've got obviously all your little eyes and insert computery type bits. They don't tend to get rub on them because they're indented inwards rather than on the outside, so they don't really pick up the rub. You can also get with him the sort of the bendy, more flexible arm variant. So if we're, and it's slightly different colours, but so if we show you with this one, you see sort of the movement there, and it's that joint there. It's sort of, whereas I take this off, and there's a lot more wiggle in that joint. It's a lot more bendy. So would I have known it had I not sort of stumbled across it on YouTube? Probably not. But there is just a variant if that's the sort of thing that floats your boat. If you have a boat, if you don't have a boat, boats are available. I'm sure somebody will sell you one. And last but not least, Boosk. Again, the main mould is the sort of off orange or whatever one is called it, with the hands and the feet and that painted on. So here you do get paint rub. You don't tend to get it on the inside because you're not actually rubbing against anything, but you do get it across the feet and you do get it on the arms and the hands, so that's worth checking. The white you get rub on, and the black cross there you get rub on. So I mean, this is my display one, and even this one has got a bit of rub around there, you can see. So it is tricky. The head, other than the eyes which are painted in, the nostrils and the mouth, that's the actual mould colour, so you don't really get any issues with the head. It is pure, generally I found the back, because it gets laid down, or the hands and the feet are the main issues, and he comes with his own unique gun. So if I was going to have a fight, and I was going to have a crew with me, then I'd have Boosk first, because he scares the shit out of people. Then I'd have RG88, because I just think, you know, in a fight, with his versatility and general sadistic mannerisms, you know, he might be useful. Then, because he's looking cool, then would I have Forlum next? I probably would. I'd probably have him next, and then I think I'd bring in Zuckess. And if I can't win with those four, then I'm not winning. And Dengar can come in at the end purely because he's got a lot of bandages around his head, and if any of us need patching up, we can steal his bandages. So that's the Fab 5. I like the Bounty Hunters, they look pretty smart. So there you have it. 5 of the coolest figures in the range. really unique, great for playing with as a kid, great for taking over challenging the good guys and capturing them, killing them and all that sort of stuff. Everybody wants to be a bounty hunter and earn loads of cash, don't we? So all I can say now is, with that inspiration, go out, kidnap's a harsh word, but take people against their will and try and cash in on it. Criminal gangs are good hirers in this scenario. You probably won't get a job at Tesco's, but if you move in the right circles and you equip yourself with the right weapons and load up the back of your Focus with some baseball bats and other sorts of stuff, you might make a pretty good bounty hunter. So let us know in the comments how you get on. For legal reasons, we recommend that you don't do that. You may get in trouble with the police, and that was a joke. See you all soon.